Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video from our channel, Time Capsule. Today, and in these recent days, we've lost some truly special souls, people who brought joy, music, stories, and heart to so many lives. Through their talents, dedication, and kindness, they touched audiences, communities, and generations of people around the world. Today, we take a gentle moment together to remember their lives, their journeys, and the legacies they leave behind. Annabel Schofield was remembered as a thoughtful and compassionate woman whose presence brought warmth and understanding to the people around her. Those who knew her often described her as someone who lived her life with quiet strength, dignity, and a deep sense of empathy for others. She believed that small acts of kindness could have a lasting effect, and she practiced that belief in her everyday life. Throughout her life, Annabel was someone who valued creativity, communication, and meaningful connection. Whether through professional work or personal relationships, she always tried to create an environment where people felt respected and supported. Her colleagues often spoke about her calm personality and her ability to bring thoughtful perspective to discussions and projects. Annabel had a natural ability to listen carefully to others. In many situations, people found comfort in talking to her because she approached conversations with patience and understanding. She believed that everyone deserved to be heard, and she made sure people felt valued when they shared their thoughts or concerns. Her professional life reflected the same thoughtful approach she carried into her personal life. Annabel often worked in spaces that encouraged creativity and collaboration. She supported initiatives that focused on bringing people together through shared ideas and artistic expression. While she never sought attention or recognition, the people who worked alongside her deeply appreciated the care and dedication she brought to every project. Friends and family members often remember Annabel as someone who had a gentle sense of humor and a calming presence. She had a way of making others feel comfortable, even during stressful moments. Her ability to remain calm and thoughtful helped people trust her judgment and seek her advice. Beyond work and social circles, Annabel valued family and personal relationships above everything else. She believed that strong connections with loved ones were one of the most important parts of life. She cherished time spent with family, whether it was sharing meals, celebrating milestones, or simply enjoying quiet moments together. People who knew Annabel also recall how generous she was with her time. She often supported friends when they were going through difficult periods and encouraged them to stay hopeful. Her words of encouragement and gentle support helped many people navigate challenging moments in their lives. When news of Annabel Schofield's passing was shared, the response from friends and colleagues reflected the deep respect people had for her. Many shared stories about the kindness she showed them and the thoughtful advice she once gave during important moments in their lives. Although Annabel may not have been a public celebrity, her impact on the people around her was significant. Her life reminds us that meaningful influence does not always come from fame or recognition. Sometimes it comes from living with kindness, integrity, and compassion every day. Annabel Schofield leaves behind a legacy defined by empathy, generosity, and sincerity. The people who knew her will continue to carry her memory forward through the lessons she shared and the kindness she demonstrated. Her story is a reminder that even quiet lives can leave powerful impressions. The warmth she shared and the encouragement she gave will remain part of the lives she touched for years to come. Sedaka was one of the most recognizable voices in pop music history, a singer, songwriter, and pianist whose melodies became part of the soundtrack of multiple generations. His career spanned decades, and his songs were loved by millions around the world. Known for his smooth voice, catchy melodies, and heartfelt lyrics, Sedaka helped shape the sound of popular music during the early years of rock and pop. Sedaka was born on March 13, 1939, in Brooklyn, New York. From an early age, it was clear that he had a special connection with music. His parents recognized his talent and encouraged him to pursue formal musical training. As a young boy, Sedaka studied classical piano and eventually attended the prestigious Juilliard School's preparatory division, where he developed strong musical foundations. Although his early training was rooted in classical music, Sedaka soon found himself drawn to popular music and songwriting. During his teenage years, He began experimenting with melodies and lyrics, discovering that he had a natural gift for creating memorable songs. This talent would soon open the door to a remarkable career. In the late 1950s and early 1960s, Neil Sedaka quickly rose to fame. His breakthrough came with the release of songs that captured the emotions of young listeners. Hits like "Oh Carol," "Calendar Girl," and "Breaking Up Is Hard to Do" became instantly recognizable across radio stations and music charts. His voice carried a sincerity that listeners found relatable, and his songs often reflected the excitement and heartbreak of young love. Sedaka's success was also closely tied to his songwriting partnership with lyricist Howard Greenfield. Together they created dozens of successful songs, not only for Sedaka himself, but also for other artists. Their collaboration became one of the most successful songwriting partnerships of the era. They had an incredible ability to combine emotional storytelling with melodies that stayed in listeners' minds long after the music ended. As the music industry changed during the late 1960s, many artists struggled to adapt. Sedaka experienced a period where his music was not as visible in the charts. However, his love for music never faded. Instead of giving up, he continued writing songs and performing, eventually finding a new wave of success. In the 1970s, Sedaka experienced an impressive comeback. Songs like "Laughter in the Rain" and "Bad Blood" introduced his music to a new generation of listeners. These hits proved that his songwriting talent was timeless, and that audiences still connected with his voice and style. Beyond his achievements in the recording studio, Neil Sedaka was admired for his kindness and appreciation toward his fans. He enjoyed performing live, and often spoke about how grateful he felt for the people who supported his music throughout the years. Concert audiences frequently described his performances as warm and heartfelt. Throughout his long career, Sedaka remained dedicated to music. Even after decades in the industry, he continued performing and sharing stories about his journey. Younger musicians often cited him as an influence, recognizing his contribution to the development of pop music. When news of Neil Sedaka's passing reached the public, tributes quickly appeared from musicians, fans, and cultural figures around the world. Many expressed gratitude for the music he had given them and the memories attached to his songs. Neil Sedaka leaves behind a musical legacy that continues to live on through the melodies he created. His songs remain part of playlists, radio broadcasts, and personal memories across generations. Music lovers will continue to discover and enjoy the work he left behind. His voice may have grown silent, but the songs he created continue to echo through time. The melodies he shared with the world will always remind listeners of the era when his music first captured their hearts. Lou Holtz was widely regarded as one of the most respected and influential figures in the history of American college football. As a coach, mentor, and motivational speaker, he inspired thousands of athletes and fans throughout a career that spanned several decades. Lou Holtz was born on January 6, 1937, in Fallonsby, West Virginia. Growing up in a hardworking family, he learned early lessons about discipline and perseverance. These values would later become central to his philosophy as a coach and leader. During his youth, Holtz developed a passion for football. He eventually attended Kent State University, where he played college football as a linebacker. Although he was not the biggest player on the field, he quickly became known for his determination and understanding of the game. After completing his education, Holtz began pursuing a career in coaching. Early in his journey, he worked as an assistant coach at several programs, where he learned the complexities of managing a football team. These early experiences helped him develop the leadership skills that would later define his career. Holtz eventually became a head coach and began building a reputation for his disciplined and motivational approach. Over the years, he coached at several universities, including North Carolina State, Arkansas, Minnesota, and South Carolina. Each program benefited from his commitment to building strong teams and encouraging athletes to develop both on and off the field. However, the most celebrated chapter of his coaching career came during his time at the University of Notre Dame. Under his leadership, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish achieved tremendous success. In 1988, Holtz led the team to a national championship victory, a moment that remains one of the most memorable achievements in college football history. Players who trained under Holtz often described him as more than just a coach. He was a mentor who believed strongly in shaping character and leadership. He encouraged athletes to focus on discipline, responsibility, and teamwork. Many former players have shared that the lessons they learned from him helped guide their lives long after their playing careers ended. After retiring from coaching, Holtz continued to influence the sports world as a television analyst and motivational speaker. His speeches focused on leadership, perseverance, and faith, inspiring audiences far beyond the football field. Holtz's ability to communicate simple yet powerful life lessons made him a respected figure in many communities. People appreciated his honesty, humor, and ability to inspire confidence in others. When news of Lou Holtz's passing was announced, tributes poured in from former players, coaches, sports journalists, and fans. Many spoke about the positive influence he had on their lives and the guidance he provided during important moments. Lou Holtz leaves behind a legacy defined by leadership, discipline, and dedication to helping others reach their full potential. His impact extends far beyond football victories and championships. The players he coached, the teams he guided, and the audiences he inspired will continue to remember the lessons he shared. His story serves as a reminder that great leaders shape lives, not only through achievements, but also through character and mentorship.
Chase Pistone was known in the world of motorsports as a passionate and determined NASCAR driver whose love for racing began at a very young age. Coming from a racing family, Pistone grew up surrounded by engines, racetracks, and the excitement of competition. For him, racing was not just a career path, it was a lifelong passion that shaped much of his identity. Chase Pistone was born into a family already connected to motorsports. His father, Doug Pistone, had also been involved in racing,
which meant that the environment of speed, mechanics, and strategy was familiar to Chase from childhood.
Many young racers discover their love for the sport through watching others, and for Chase, those early experiences helped inspire his dream of becoming a professional driver. As he grew older, Pistone began participating in racing events where he developed the skills needed to compete at higher levels. Motorsports demand intense concentration, fast decision-making,
and a strong understanding of vehicle performance. Chase quickly demonstrated that he had the determination required to handle those challenges. In his early career, Pistone competed in various racing series, where he gained valuable experience on the track. These competitions helped him refine his abilities and build a reputation as a focused and committed driver. Racing is often described as a team sport, despite the individual driver being behind the wheel, and Chase understood the importance of teamwork. Engineers, mechanics, and crew members all contribute to the success of a racing team. Pistone maintained strong relationships with those around him and often spoke about how important the team effort was in every race. Colleagues frequently described him as respectful and appreciative of the people who worked behind the scenes. Eventually, Chase Pistone competed in NASCAR's developmental circuits, where many young drivers hope to build professional careers. These races can be incredibly competitive, with talented drivers all aiming to prove themselves on the track. Pistone approached these opportunities with dedication and professionalism. While racing was a major part of his life, those who knew Chase personally often spoke about his character away from the racetrack. Friends described him as humble and down-to-earth, someone who appreciated the opportunities he had been given. He valued time with family and enjoyed sharing his passion for racing with those closest to him. Despite the demanding nature of motorsports, Pistone remained focused on building relationships and maintaining a balanced life. His friends often recall how he supported them during difficult times and celebrated their successes with genuine enthusiasm. When news of Chase Pistone's passing reached the motorsports community, many drivers, fans, and team members expressed sadness. Tributes highlighted his dedication to racing and the positive attitude he carried throughout his career. Although his journey in racing was still developing, Pistone's commitment to the sport left an impression on those who followed his career. He represented the passion and determination that drive many young athletes to pursue their dreams. Chase Pistone's legacy lives on through the memories of his races, the friendships he built, and the inspiration he provided to aspiring drivers who continue to follow the path he once pursued. Jesse Jackson was one of the most influential civil rights leaders in modern American history. A minister, activist, and political figure, Jackson dedicated his life to advocating for equality, justice, and opportunity for marginalized communities. His work shaped decades of social change and inspired countless individuals to stand up for fairness and dignity. Jesse Jackson was born on October 8, 1941, in Greenville, South Carolina. Growing up in the American South during a time of racial segregation, Jackson witnessed the challenges faced by African American communities. These early experiences deeply influenced his commitment to civil rights and social justice. As a young student, Jackson demonstrated leadership abilities and a strong sense of determination. He attended North Carolina A&T State University, where he became involved in activism and student leadership. During this period, he became connected to the broader civil rights movement that was gaining momentum across the United States. Jackson later began working alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one of the most prominent leaders of the civil rights movement. Through this connection, Jackson participated in demonstrations, voter registration campaigns, and community programs that aimed to expand civil rights protections for African Americans. During the 1960s, the civil rights movement achieved several major victories, including landmark legislation that helped dismantle legal segregation. Jackson continued to advocate for progress beyond those initial victories, believing that economic equality and political participation were essential parts of lasting change. In 1971, Jackson founded Operation Push, an organization focused on promoting economic empowerment and encouraging businesses to create opportunities for minority communities. The organization worked to address issues such as employment, education, and community development. Later, Jackson established the Rainbow Push Coalition, which expanded the mission to include broader civil rights advocacy. Through these organizations, he continued to speak about social justice, voting rights, and equal opportunity. Jackson also entered national politics. In 1984, and again in 1988, he ran for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States. His campaigns were historic because they inspired millions of voters and encouraged greater political participation among minority communities. Although he did not win the nomination, his campaigns helped broaden representation in American politics. Beyond politics, Jackson was known for his powerful speeches that emphasized hope, dignity, and unity. His words often reminded audiences that progress could be achieved through determination and cooperation. Throughout his life, Jackson remained committed to advocating for those who felt unheard or overlooked. His work brought attention to issues of inequality and encouraged dialogue about justice and fairness. When news of Jesse Jackson's passing was announced, leaders, activists, and citizens across the world paid tribute to his legacy. Many remembered him as a voice of determination and courage, who spent his life working toward equality. Jesse Jackson leaves behind a legacy that extends beyond politics. His activism inspired generations to believe that positive change is possible when people work together. Bobby J. Brown was remembered as a respected member of his community, whose life reflected dedication, compassion, and a deep commitment to helping others. While he may not have sought the spotlight, his influence on the people around him was meaningful and lasting. Those who knew him often spoke about his reliability, his thoughtful nature, and the way he quietly supported those who needed encouragement. Throughout his life, Bobby J. Brown believed strongly in the importance of community. He understood that the strength of any neighborhood or town depends on the willingness of people to support one another. Whether through professional responsibilities, volunteer efforts, or simple acts of kindness, Brown consistently tried to make a positive difference. Friends and colleagues frequently described him as someone who approached challenges with patience and calm understanding. When conflicts arose or problems needed solving, he often became the person others turned to for advice. His ability to listen carefully and offer balanced perspectives helped build trust among those who worked with him. In his professional life, Brown focused on building connections and supporting initiatives that benefited the wider community. He believed that progress often came from cooperation and shared effort. Many projects he supported were aimed at improving everyday life for local residents, whether through education, development programs, or community events. While he valued professional responsibilities, Brown never allowed work to overshadow the importance of family and personal relationships. He believed that the foundation of a meaningful life comes from strong bonds with loved ones. Time spent with family was always important to him, whether during gatherings, celebrations, or quiet moments at home. Friends often remember Bobby J. Brown as someone who carried a warm and approachable personality. He enjoyed conversations that allowed people to share their experiences and ideas. His sense of humor, combined with his thoughtful nature, made him someone people felt comfortable spending time with. One of the qualities people admired most about Brown was his willingness to help others without expecting recognition. If a neighbor needed assistance or a friend was facing difficulties, he was often among the first to offer support. His actions reflected his belief that compassion and cooperation are essential values in any community. When news of Bobby J. Brown's passing was shared, many people expressed sadness while reflecting on the positive role he had played in their lives. Friends, family members, and colleagues remembered the encouragement he gave them and the steady presence he maintained during important moments. His life reminds us that the true measure of influence is not always found in public attention, but in the relationships we build and the kindness we show to others. Brown's example demonstrated that everyday acts of generosity can have lasting impact. Bobby J. Brown leaves behind a legacy of service, kindness, and dedication to community. The people whose lives he touched will continue to carry forward the lessons he shared through his actions. Robert Cosby Jr. was remembered as a devoted family man whose life reflected perseverance, integrity, and commitment to those he loved. Those who knew him often spoke about his hard-working spirit and the values that guided his decisions throughout life. From an early age, Cosby understood the importance of responsibility and determination. He believed that success was built through effort and dedication. These beliefs shaped both his professional journey and his personal life. Throughout his career, Robert Cosby Jr. earned a reputation as someone who could be trusted to fulfill his responsibilities with honesty and care. Colleagues frequently described him as dependable and focused. When tasks needed to be completed, people knew they could rely on him to approach the work with attention and dedication. Despite the demands of work, Cosby always prioritized family. For him, family relationships were the most meaningful part of life. He valued time spent with loved ones and worked hard to create a supportive environment where everyone felt encouraged. Family gatherings were moments he cherished deeply. Whether celebrating holidays, sharing meals, or simply enjoying conversation together, these occasions strengthened the bonds that meant so much to him. Friends who spent time with the family often noticed how much Cosby valued unity and togetherness. Beyond family, Robert Cosby Jr. was also known for the loyalty he showed toward friends. Once he formed a friendship, he remained supportive for many years. People appreciated his reliability and his willingness to offer help whenever someone faced difficulties. Those closest to him often remember his calm personality and his thoughtful way of approaching problems. When someone needed guidance, Cosby was someone they trusted to offer honest advice. His quiet wisdom often helped others see challenges from new perspectives. In addition to his practical outlook on life, Cosby also had a gentle sense of humor. Friends often recall how he enjoyed lighthearted conversations and moments of laughter. These simple interactions helped strengthen the relationships he built over the years. When news of Robert Cosby Jr.'s passing reached friends and family, many expressed sadness while also reflecting on the meaningful life he lived. Messages of remembrance highlighted his dedication to family, his strong character, and the support he provided to others. His life stands as a reminder that integrity and commitment can shape a legacy that endures beyond one's lifetime. The example he set continues to influence the people who knew him best. Robert Cosby Jr. leaves behind a legacy defined by loyalty, responsibility,
and love for family. His memory lives on through the relationships he nurtured and the values he practiced each day. Katherine Short was remembered as a compassionate and thoughtful woman whose kindness left a lasting impression on the people around her. She believed strongly in the value of helping others and building meaningful relationships throughout life. Throughout her years, Katherine developed a reputation for being someone people could rely on for support and understanding. Friends and family often described her as someone who listened carefully and offered encouragement whenever it was needed. Katherine believed that communities grow stronger when individuals care for one another. She often participated in local activities and initiatives that brought people together. Whether through volunteering, organizing gatherings, or simply offering her time to support others, she demonstrated her belief that kindness can strengthen communities. Those who knew Katherine personally often recall her calm and gentle personality. She had a natural ability to create a welcoming atmosphere wherever she went. People felt comfortable speaking with her because she approached conversations with sincerity and empathy. Family was an essential part of Katherine's life. She cherished the time she spent with loved ones and valued the traditions that brought family members together. Holidays, celebrations, and everyday conversations became treasured memories for those who shared them with her. Katherine also believed strongly in maintaining a positive outlook, even during challenging moments. She encouraged others to remain hopeful and to support one another when difficulties arose. Her words often provided reassurance during times when people needed it most. Friends frequently mention how Katherine celebrated the achievements of others. She took genuine joy in seeing people succeed and often expressed pride in the accomplishments of those around her. This supportive attitude strengthened many of her friendships. When news of Katherine Short's passing became known, many people shared stories about the kindness she had shown them throughout the years. Tributes reflected gratitude for the warmth and encouragement she consistently offered. Her life reminds us that compassion and generosity can shape relationships that last far beyond a lifetime. The impact of her kindness continues through the memories she created with family and friends. Katherine Short leaves behind a legacy built on empathy, friendship, and dedication to family and community. Her memory will continue to inspire those who were fortunate enough to know her. As we come to the end of this tribute, we remember that every life leaves behind a story. The individuals we honored today came from different paths, yet each touched the lives of others in meaningful ways. Though they are no longer with us, their memories and legacies continue to inspire. Thank you for joining us on Time Capsule. If this tribute meant something to you, please like the video, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, take care and keep their memories alive.